Straight Good, just Alexander, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Jay Will, and I'm down to dunk.
They have. Here we go.
I'm Isaiah Hartenstein, and I'm down to dunk.
I hope Savior of basketball has won.
Well, the Dorcher Chamber has been going pretty well.
I'm Aaron Wiggins, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Chet Holmgren, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Mark Dagnall, and I'm down to dunk.
He just does a big smile and
I feel blessed by God to be here down to dunk, be here with you.
I'm Alex Caruso, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm AJ Mitchell, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Isaiah Joe, and I'm down to dunk.
Oh, jeez. Are you going to sing it good enough for me to guess it, or?
Panhandle. Jeez. I'm tweaking.
Name 2 famous Oklahomans.
Myself and Jalen Williams.
Is that a crazy answer?
All my friends call me Bob.
Where's Rachel? Unique story. You lived a whole life.
Plain?
This is Kason Wallace, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
True blood Oklahoma.
That's right. Pretty exciting, if you ask me.
This is J-Dub, world champion J-Dub, and I'm down to dunk. And eat burgers. Yeah.
Ooh, welcome to Down to Dunk. I'm your host, Andrew Schlecht. We're part of the Athletic Podcast Network. Before I get to my good friend Alex Speers, I want to tell you about 2 other friends of mine, Aaron and Drew Reese of Shelter Insurance. Call Aaron 405-773-5500 or Drew 405-478-7714 today. Listen, they can help you save you money. They can help you whenever something goes awry with your car or your home, because it's going to happen. You hate to be the bearer of bad news at the beginning of a year, but listen, it's going to happen. So be sure to check out Aaron and Drew Reese. Give them a call or text today and support the people that support Down to Dunk with me on a Monday. It's my good friend Alex Speers. Alex, what's up?
What's up, Andrew? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. We're actually pre-recording this because I'm taking a little hiatus. But we wanted to have some content out there for you. And so we went to the good people at R-Thunder, and they delivered in a big way. So many questions. We'll try to fire through as many of these as possible. We are definitely not answering all the questions, but we appreciate you guys engaging with us on that post. You guys are the best. Okay, first one. Panicked Waddle wants to know, you've talked with J-Dub about him having not regained full range of motion in his wrist, and we've seen after games with a big ice pack wrapped on it, so we can assume he's still dealing with swelling and or pain. You said on the Wednesday pod that Coach D said Dub was still learning to adjust to his new normal. From your understanding, do they expect J-Dub's wrist to ever fully recover to what it was, or will he have to adjust to a permanent lack of range of motion? I don't think this is a range of motion issue that will be there forever. I do think that when you have your body operated on any level, that you have to get used to what it feels like. I don't think it ever feels like exactly the same as it did before. Yeah, he has a ton of ice on it. He'll have ice on it on the bench. He'll have ice on it after the games. He's still flexing it some. So I do think that it's going to take time for it to feel better. Do I think he'll get back to where he was? Yes, I do. I'd be a little surprised if he did not, but it's going to be a process. It's not just going to be he returns and is back to where he was. So any other insights, Dr. Al?
Oh, I broke my wrist. I broke my wrist on my shooting hand. There's a scar to prove it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. J-Dub's getting the best of the best in terms of physical therapy. I did 1 session of physical therapy and then didn't do any of my exercises. So yeah, my wrist was stiff for probably way longer than it should have been.
Yeah.
But I will say last weekend, I was actually at a 5-year-old's birthday party at a community center, and they were all swimming, and I realized they had an open gym. So I went and shot, and for the first time it felt normal. I could make a shot without it going a foot to the right. Because that's what happened. After I broke my wrist, I tried shooting, and I just had zero aim anymore.
Yeah.
And so I definitely empathize with J-Dub, and I do think it's just going to be a process. I mean, it's if it was his offhand, it would obviously not be. It would still matter for his handle.
Sure.
But having it on your shooting hand, I mean, that just has to be brutal because I'm assuming he's never broken his wrist before, so he's grown up playing basketball with this like same wrist development all through all these years, and then all of a sudden you break it, and you kind of have to not like relearn, but like figure out a new way. Because even if it does get back to full range of motion, it still just feels different. Like my wrist feels different right now. And it's been like 5 years, but I can tell that it's different from my wrist that has never been broken.
Yeah. It's a process. He will figure it out. He will get back to a place where he's taking more than 1-3 a game. Like that will happen. It's going to take time. And the good news is he's got time. There's a lot of games left in this season.
He's got time.
Figure it out.
But it is, I mean, it does bring up interesting questions about the starting lineup because going into this season, one of our big things was like more 3-point volume from guys like Chet and J-Dub to make that lineup work. And Chet, I feel like Chet's come through. He's been pretty good. But yeah, like if J-Dub, even if he gets back to feeling comfortable shooting the three, but it's still not a huge part of his game, I do think at some point you have to start wondering about that starting lineup and just, is there enough shooting in that starting lineup? And what could you do to inject more shooting and still maintain their identity? Because you're already taking a step back by doing the double big. And it seems like the team's pretty committed to the double big right now. So if you're not getting 3-point volume from J-Dub, and thankfully like Shea has become an awesome 3-point shooter, that covers up a lot. But that fifth spot, it's why Dort's shooting slump, you like feel it more in those starting lineups because like they really need him to be that 40% 3-point shooter in that lineup. Yeah, no question. Cubby 33, how's Kaysen Wallets for a nickname since he picks pockets? Wow.
And then Master Fuss Budget says, call him Take Some Wallets.
Take Some Wallets. That sounds like a Taylor Dickerson special.
I do kind of like Take Some Wallets.
Did you see? I don't know where it was posted, but somebody said The Lightning Thief, which I liked.
Oh, okay.
It's a book.
It's a book. Have you read that book?
And I have not, but when I worked at a bookstore, I saw that book all the time.
I've read it.
Lightning obviously goes with thunder.
Yeah.
Thief. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's a pretty solid one. I do like Kaysen Wallets though.
Kaysen Wallets. Take some wallets.
That's when it goes a little bit too far. Now we're in Tayshawn zone.
We're in Tayshawn zone. I do like Kaysen Wallets. That's kind of awesome.
It's easy to say. It reminds me of like Frankie Smokes.
Yeah.
Like, kind of just those like classic names where it's very easy to say. You're not adding a ton. You're slightly changing one word.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think we're on to something here. That's probably the first one that I really liked.
Take some wallets.
Take some wallets. Oh my gosh. Okay. Chetterosexual _7. There's been a lot of talk about Dort lately. What do you guys think is going on there? And should he and Kaysen switch minutes? To me, it seems like he is still playing through injury, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, what do you think about the injury thing? Because I was reading some fans talking about that as well. Just feeling like he's gotten especially beat up this year.
Maybe.
I mean, we haven't heard anything official, right? I know he's missed a few games here and there.
And like I see guys getting treatment on whatever. There's a bunch of guys that have stuff going on with their fingers, and there's guys that got ankle issues and whatever. And all I saw after the game the other night was Dort eating a sandwich. So I didn't see anything going on there. I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. I do know that let me look at, I mean, they kind of swapped minutes in the last game because it's hard because there's no iHeart, but he only played 23 minutes to Kaysen Wallets 34 in that game against the Hawks. So like there was an adjustment there. It's not been a good stretch for Dort. Like there's no question on the defensive end, on the offensive end, it's not been the best version of Lou Dort. But I do know that like he's a guy that the team looks at as like a leader of the team. He's a guy that they look at as a guy who's a playoff gamer. I don't think that his minutes are going anywhere come playoff time, but during the regular season, we saw an adjustment made against Atlanta. So could that happen more than once? Sure. I think that's totally possible.
Yeah, just to put it in perspective, Cleaning the Glass has a points per shot attempt stat, and his points per shot attempt is the second lowest of his career. It was only lower his rookie season.
Wow.
When he only played 800 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's been brutal. What's funny, though, is that he's shooting a career high 74% at the rim.
I know.
Which he's taking much fewer 2-point attempts than he has in the past. Actually, career low 2-point attempts. Only 2.5 per game. He's mostly just a 3-point shooter now. God, what is his 3-point attempt rate? It must be so high. Yeah, it's 75%. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And he's shooting 32%.
That's okay.
I wonder if there's any. Let's see. Is he doing any? Oh, gosh. Corner, Dort, gone. He shot over 40% from the corners for 5 straight seasons. If you want to say he's a streaky shooter overall, yeah, sure. But he's been really consistent for the corners. And he's shooting 23% from the corners so far.
There's hope right there, right?
Yeah, that's some hope. Now, overall, on non-corner shots, he's shooting 35%, which is better than he was doing his first 4 seasons, but clearly behind where he was the last 2 years.
Yeah.
If he stayed at 35% on above the break threes, but got back up to 40% on corner threes, I feel like it would be fine. That's workable.
Yeah, I think he'll get there. I think he'll eventually level out. I mean, like, remember Caruso last year to start the year was shooting like
Oh yeah, Caruso
4% for a long time.
Yeah,
it was so bad, but then it leveled out, and I think the same will happen for Lou. Like, I don't think that he's suddenly just an awful shooter. Is he going to be 40%? Like, maybe not 40, but I think he'll be good enough.
And again, it's one of those things that gets accentuated because of the Spurs losses. Like if they win 2 of those 3 games, it's just no one really cares.
Because the one on Christmas,
yeah,
one.
Because it was the same thing with Caruso last year. Like, we were all noticing it, but they were winning. And frankly, they were winning at the same rate they are right now. But of course, it feels different right now. But we were just like, well, they're still winning, so who cares? I'm sure it'll work out. And it did eventually work out. Those Spurs losses just put everything under the microscope, where you're just like, we have to figure out this right now. And who do we blame? Who do we trade?
Who are we trading?
Let's do it right now.
Yeah, where is this thing going?
Yeah.
Like, are we even a contender anymore? Yeah. Lil Big Zay wants to know, do you think Oos is on his way out for the Thunder soon? I think we all appreciate his time here, but it seems like a Bay's 2023 deadline situation where he'd prefer to get some real assets instead of letting him walk in free agency. He's a restricted free agent, but I doubt he's looking to re-sign or match any offer. I mean, yeah. Like,
I'd be shocked if you got an asset, because his contract, it's not good. I mean, it's not like he's making a ton of money, but it's not a minimum. Like, what is it, 6.7 or something?
6, yeah.
Yeah, like that's in this current cap environment, that is a lot for a team to just have to take on for a guy that probably isn't going to do anything and won't be on your team next year. Like, it feels like it would be more of a dump situation where you actually might have to give up, a second or 2 just to get off of that contract.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be like exchanging Oos. It's just like you want to swap players. Like, there's somebody that says Zaire Williams for Oos. Like, I don't know, sure. I mean, and then maybe they waive Zaire.
Didn't he just sign a new deal?
Did he?
I thought he did. Let me look at his contract. It's a team option for next year.
Yeah, so like that's fine. You can waive him and then bring Carlson up. So that
you can also just in that case, like, unless you're interested in Zaire Williams, you could just hang on to Oos and just
whatever. It just doesn't really matter. I do think they'd like to have a roster spot more than they would like to have Oos at this point. Like, they just don't even really play him unless it's due to injuries, and he's hurt right now too, so he can't even play. Master Fuss Bucket wants to know, how good a shooter is AJ Mitchell really? I love his offensive game, but for him to reach his ceiling and make Joe/Wiggins expendable in our offense, we need consistent outside shooting. I'd love to hear a comparison of his 3-point percentage this year and last year versus our guards, and look at whether his free throw percentage and college numbers predict future improvement. He's not an awesome 3-point shooter. He's not a guy I would be surprised if he ever became like a 40+% 3-point shooter. He was not really that in college. His college numbers are kind of all over the place, where he had like a really good year and he had a really terrible year. And so
yeah, it was 33% his freshman year, 27% his sophomore year, all these on low attempts. And then his junior year, he did shoot 39% on 2.9 attempts.
Yeah,
which obviously helped him and his draft stock.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did not come in as like a big shooting prospect.
Yeah. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with his shot. He's shooting 34% so far this year on 3 attempts per game. It's not great, but he's confident when he takes it. When he's open, he shoots it. I don't know that we'll ever see him as like some like high volume guy. He doesn't really need to be, because he does so many other things as an offensive player. But as long as he is willing to shoot it and makes around 35 to 37% from 3 for his career, I think that that's good enough. So I don't know that he'll ever be some knockdown guy like Isaiah Joe, but I think that he could be like a good enough 3-point shooter.
Yeah,
go ahead.
It's kind of similar to Dort, where it's like you got to start somewhere. And looking at Clean the Glass, like he is shooting 42% from the corners this year, which is great.
Oh.
Now that also means he's shooting 28% on above the break threes.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of what they would want him to do, especially in lineups where you have everyone playing, like Shea and J-Dub, is hit those corner threes. So if he can just start there.
Yeah,
that'd be a great place to just have like some kind of anchor point for his shooting. Like at least we know he can hit from the corners, and then maybe the rest of it will develop. He's never going to be like Isaiah Joe or something, but you just need some consistency.
Yeah, and he is a good free throw shooter. He's 88% this year, so like there's an improvement, and he's got good touch. So I don't see why he couldn't be like a really good 3-point shooter, but I wouldn't want to sit here and say he's going to be, whenever we don't have evidence of him shooting that well from 3. So I guess we'll see. Some of these names, you guys. The Wet Poop. There is constant questioning surrounding the future of this team regarding the salary cap and second apron. I know it's been discussed ad nauseum, but now 1/3 through the season, what do you think is most likely to happen with the roster construction next year as it relates to iHeart, Queso, Dort, and Caruso? If you think there will be other players potentially impacted, feel free to comment on that piece too. Thanks.
Let's just make a prediction.
Okay.
As of right now, December 31st.
Mm-hmm.
My prediction would be they decline Hartenstein's team option, bring him back on a lower deal.
Yeah.
And then they move on from one of Dort, Caruso, or Kaysen. And as of right now, man, that's tough. Like if
they have a team option on Kenrich too, which I know is like tough from like a leadership standpoint and like a guy that's been here. And I hate to see them move on from Kenrich. I love Kenrich. I think he's one of like the best dudes on the team. But, like that's another option, saving money and to get a roster spot. There's also like the aspect of it where, what if they ended up with 2 top 10 picks?
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do roster wise? There's obviously one that's pretty easy with Oos, that's gone. But then, like, where else do you fit these guys? It's like it's a real question. It's a real question. And so there's also the aspect of what is the ownership group willing to do? Like I don't know the answer to that question. They could keep everybody. That is totally an option, but it's going to be up to the ownership group because the Thunder haven't paid the tax yet once. So we're not even talking about like repeater tax and aprons and all that. Will not be really won't affect them all that much to start. And so yeah, if they're able to get iHeart on a lower deal, maybe you let Kenrich go. You bring in a couple rookies. Like I don't know. I mean, like
I just think you have to, and it doesn't have to be this summer, but
Yeah.
the three-headed monster of Caruso, Dort, and Wallace, like you just can't commit that much money to like what ends up being a redundant position long term. Like it's been awesome having Kaysen on his rookie deal.
Yeah.
But paying all of those guys over 20 million a year, which they all deserve. Like Dort is going to get over 20 million probably on his next deal.
Yeah.
Or right around there. I just don't think you can do that long term. So the only reason why, obviously after the Spurs losses, there was a lot of like trade talk. My only thinking there is that like if they know they're going to make a move this summer, or that they have to make a move this summer, would they be willing to kind of be proactive about that and make the move in season as opposed to waiting till after the season? Like if there was a deal that made sense and was the guy they were looking for, would they kind of try to solve that issue earlier than later?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And it's a huge gamble because you already know you have a championship roster right now.
Mm-hmm.
But if they look around the league and they just feel like, man, we're just missing this one piece to like put us over the top where we could like dominate in the playoffs. I just wonder if they would have any interest in that. But it's really hard to think about breaking up those three, who they would. I almost think it would be Caruso because of age. Like he still has value.
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of Thunder fans would say Dort, but I just struggle believing that this team would move on from Dort. He just feels like he's been here since the beginning.
And he may take a cut from what he would get if he was like on the open market to stay in OKC too.
Maybe, yeah. And on the flip side, like maybe Kaysen wants a lot of money or something. Like, and maybe it becomes impossible to keep him. That could possibly happen too.
Yeah. Yeah. We just don't know. Yeah. It is possible too. And like, I think that Kaysen is ready for more minutes and more opportunities as well.
Yeah.
And so,
it's so tough. Each of those guys have such defined strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
I mean, I really think like in terms of peak impact, it's like Caruso, no doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen it.
Yeah.
Caruso won playoff games, which I guess you could say of Dort as well.
Did too.
Very well timed impact, but like Caruso legitimately like swung games.
He did
on his own, and so it'd be really tough to move on from him. At the same time, he's the oldest of the three, and so you could see them like maybe trying to get a year ahead of him starting to have a drop off. But
yeah, and he'd be very much in demand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he still has a ton of value, as he should.
A ton of value, really good player, winning player, impacts winning at a very, very high level. You know, he's under contract until 28, 29. You know, at that time will be very reasonable as long as he's healthy and able to play at a high level. So, yeah, they're going to have options. They could still just kind of keep everybody for the time being and make the decision later. But, yeah, I have a hard time believing they would let Kaysen go, though. I just like...
Yeah, he would be last on my list, like if I was guessing between those three.
Yeah. Okay, we are going to take a quick break. We'll answer one question after the break, and then we will continue the mailbag Wednesday. But we'll take a break now. We'll be right back. And we're back after that quick break. I want to tell you about my friends over at Ring Family Dentistry. Ring Family Dentistry takes a straightforward and honest approach to dental care. Doctors Phil and Brennan Ring believe in keeping what's healthy, fixing what's not, and only replacing what truly needs it. No pressure, no upselling, just clear explanations, thoughtful recommendations, and decisions that are always up to you. Ring Family Dentistry is a true family practice with a laid-back vibe, modern tech, and high-quality work, including same-day crowns, even for your front teeth, plus implants, bridges, root canals, and clear aligner therapy, all offered in-house. Call to schedule your appointment at 405-621-1555 or make an appointment online at ringfamilydentistry.com. Next question. Rock and roll _ grandma. What's on the Thunder's list of New Year's resolutions for 2026? Also, hi guys. Thanks for the great content over the years. Thank you, rock and roll grandma. New Year's resolutions for the Thunder, Al. Let's take a look.
I mean, something with shooting. I would love for them to just decide, hey, this is going to be your night to go 0 of 6 from 3. But we're not all going to go 0 of 6 from 3.
I know. It does feel like it's like contagious.
It is. I even looked it up because I was like, man, it feels like they're really streaky as shooters, which they are, but it's not like I was looking up teams like that had the most games shooting under like 25% from 3, over the last couple of years. And they're just middle of the pack on a lot of these things. I just don't know what the answer is with the shooting. And I felt this way last year and it almost came true, which is that like, if they get stopped in the playoffs, it'll be because the shooting dries up.
Yeah.
And they will have a streak that just goes on a little bit too long. And they got about as close as you could get last year with that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it still feels like that's the case. Like if this team fails, it will be because they just start missing all of their shots from 3.
Yeah, I would say like the only guys that are like shooting over their heads right now, like Kenrich is, but it's on very limited sample. He's 42% from 3. Shea's 41%. Which I'd love to believe that's just real. That'd be amazing. Isaiah Joe, 41%. Wiggins, 40%. I don't think those are like outrageous. Chet's at 39%. I think that he's like that good of a shooter. Queso Wallace is at 36.9%. That's like pretty good for Queso. And then everybody else is kind of below what you would think of as a shooter this year. AJ Mitchell, 34%. Dubs, 33%, which we know about his wrist issues. Dort's 32%. Caruso's 31%. And Jay Will is 29% from 3.
And iHeart
is 0%. He's taken, what has he taken? He's taken 4. So if he just made 1, it would boost his percentage by a lot.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, he just doesn't make threes in OKC.
I just think for this team to be the dynasty that we talked about them, it's going to come down to the shooting.
Yeah.
If they had like a real shooter, like a guy that you just trusted.
If they had a real shooter that was a 34 minute a night guy.
Yeah.
Is really what they, because they have like, I think that Isaiah Joe is a real shooter. I think
Isaiah Joe's
a shooter. Like those guys are real shooters. Chet, I think, is a real shooter, but they need somebody that is like, I take 8 or 9 threes a game.
And I would also say the type of shooter, because like Chet is taking, catch and shoot threes.
Yeah.
If they had like a really dynamic shooter, like a guy who could run off screens, off movement, hitting off balance threes, hitting, this amazing player that I'm describing, if they had that amazing player.
Are you suggesting they trade for MPJ?
It would be the final piece. Yes, I'm suggesting we trade for Michael Porter Jr. Now it's going to take a lot of contracts to get up there. We're going to have to gut our defense. No, but it's why, like, when people talk about, someone like Trey Murphy, which we've been talking about for years, going back to the draft.
Yeah, true.
Like, yeah, man, that would be crazy. Having a player, sticking him on this team with our big 3, would be insane.
Yeah,
they just need a release valve so bad in some of these games when it gets ugly.
Yeah, that is just like. It's like an emergency when the ball hits their hands for the opposing team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dub still could be that when he gets healthy. And they kind of need him to be that to a degree.
Yeah.
But anyways. All right. Thanks so much for listening to this episode. We'll have part 2 on Wednesday, and then Friday we'll be back to the normal show. So I appreciate you guys listening, and we'll talk to you guys again on Wednesday. Yeah.
Until the dawn, hunt unto the